So I'm working on my little gnome at the minute, which is a lot of stranded color work, and this is how I work it two-handed. So I have my dominant color, which is basically the color that goes underneath. I have it in my left hand to knit continental style. I have my non-dominant color in my right hand to knit English style. So what that looks like in practice, and look, I am going to confess, I'm not the fastest knitter, especially continental style. It gets the job done and I find it easier than doing like picking up and dropping off. Then I can just switch colors like this, just keeping a bit of an eye on my pattern as I go. And it's very easy just to switch backwards and forwards between the two different colors to get my stranded color work knitted up, and I'm not getting my yarns tangled, and it's coming reasonably, it feels smooth even if it's not the fastest way to do it. And so then I just need to be mindful which way I turn it so that my dominant color stays underneath. Just switch these needles around. So I've got my continental on my left. I just like to give that a little bit of a tug. I can pick up this one. My biggest problem doing it this way is my tension on my floats, because I do tend to knit a little bit tighter English style than my continental, especially carrying my floats. So like with this float here, I'm kind of just coming over that finger there to make sure I got a nice loose loop to make sure my floats don't get too tight. And we can just go 1, 2. I do tend to hold my thumb a bit far up into my work, so I'm trying to be mindful so that I can make my demonstration clear. And look, as you can see, again, I am not a fast knitter in this method, but it feels like a good rhythm to me. I'm going a little bit slower too because it's a little bit awkward filming. And so then the pattern's coming together and I'm not picking up and dropping my thread. So that's how I've got it set up. So dominant is over here in my left hand and it's traveling underneath. And then I've got my non-dominant on the right hand side. It did take me a little while to get used to continental style knitting. I've always been an English knitter. My family is English from way back before we were Australian. And so that's always been the way it's been passed down in my family. And when I was taught by my nan, I was taught knitting with my right hand. And I've always flicked my English knitting. And then I met my husband, who is European, and his mum watched me knit one day and she's just like, that is the strangest way I've ever seen anyone to knit. And so she demonstrated continental knitting to me. I like continental knitting. I haven't yet been able to master the continental purl, so I don't do it full time, but I do mix it up sometimes if I need a bit of a break from the repetitive movements. So you can see that I'm just picking that continental style. So for that first big long float, that's about 9 stitches, I kind of just bring it up and drop it around that needle and don't pull it back as tight as I normally would. So you can see there kind of that float is moving and flexing nicely as I push my stitches along. 3. It felt a bit awkward the first time I did this two-stranded method, but once I got the hang of it, to me it makes just the whole process smoother and it feels quicker to me than picking up and dropping. So I'll turn it, so again just being mindful that I'm not tangling my yarns as I turn it around. Switch my needles. So I'm knitting magic loop on circulars because DPNs scare me, to be honest. I feel like I am too clumsy for DPNs and I would end up dropping my stitches. one yard either side. The dominant is held in my left hand, so it goes underneath. You can kind of see it's at the bottom there. And so you can see as I come in here, so this is coming across the top, and that dark green is carrying across the bottom. I don't know if I'm quite top-wise enough with that camera angle. And so then that green, dark green, you can see has come underneath there. Tricky trying to make sure that you can see it, plus I can see what I'm actually knitting. Okay. So we're doing like a continental, and then you can see I'm going to go into this green, and so you can see that this one is coming over the top of this dark green, like that. And then it's staying on the top, which gets that dominant colour, like that. Okay, and hopefully this angle shows you kind of the back of what I'm doing. Here. Make sure I pick up the right colours. And that is how I do my double-stranded work. My beginning of round is the middle of a round, so I always do the first stitch there like that. So lots of floats on the inside like that. It is looking so cute. You can see my floats up there are a little bit tight, especially over on this side where that's a change of row. But I'm hoping once I block it, it will block out and look okay. I'm not holding my breath, to be honest. But overall, I think it's going to look super cute. That little brim will flip down like that. It is so cute. I cannot wait to see it finished. So this is the Knoll by Imagined Landscapes, and I hope you've enjoyed this little video today showing how I do my two-stranded color work to try and make the process a little bit smoother.